Yeah. Ken was just in here. Ken popped over. Walked straight in here.
Get his little heater back.
Got his heater back because Dan, kleptomaniac, went and stole his heater.
It's getting cold in this little anchor booth.
It is getting cold. You know what that means. Now it's time for the Weather Wizard's Snowpocalypse 2026 update.
Tell us about the snow king. Yeah.
So this one's going to be retired because we're going to be chapped ass outside because it's cold as a mother.
The chapped ass report.
So, first and foremost, how many people are still without power?
I'm going to say 200,000. 200,000 still without power. Right now, Nashville Electric Services says that they have 132,951 customers without power. Middle Tennessee Electric making some progress. They still have 2,002 outages. They're all over there in Williamson County. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation. They've got 8,350 outages. Why can that site not be reached?
That is,
Let's see. This is Dixon Electric. Dixon Electric, they're making progress. It looks like they have at least a couple of thousand outages. And then what is this one? Columbia Power and Water Services. Looks like they've got maybe a couple of hundred outages that they're working on. So Nashville Electric Services, that's the major one. That's the one still got at least 130,000 outages. But they sent an update about an hour ago. They say they have at least 700 linemen now out there working to restore power, but they've also deployed 200 crews who help with clearing out a lot of brush that allows the linemen then to get to where these lines have gone down, because that's been a big issue, is not being able to get to where the lines are down because of all the frozen tree branches and trees that are down.
Yeah, and we had one of the NES linemen who listens to the show, thank you, brother, text in and said there's still 200 plus, poles down. They're doing everything they can. And like you say, it is, some of it isn't, it's getting there is the biggest issue rather than even fixing the problem
right
at this moment in time. But it's they were, there was a lot of conversation over the last few days of were they understaffed? When you go look at, was it Middle Tennessee Electric and stuff had more linemen and they had 8,000 outages, and you God knows how many total NES had, and they had way less linemen. And people were questioning, did you understaff? And I don't know if they did it on purpose. Well, I guess you have to ask Bell because Bell's not very happy with them. But there's some questions there, no doubt, in a time like this. What could you do better?
I do remember them saying at the start of this that, reaching out to neighboring, companies, if you will, or regions was going to be difficult because of how large an area the winter storm was hitting. And I'm not making excuses for them, but they did say that everybody, that they were not able to reach out initially because everybody in our region was waiting for this.
Yeah, normally, so if if one of the Carolinas gets hit with, a massive storm, we can send our people because we're probably not going to get that much. Right. We could send our people. We couldn't this time.
Well, that actually happened during the hurricane where they had people on standby to go over there.
Yeah, and when this happens, every state needs every lineman they have because it's 2,000-mile swath of destruction that came through.
Yeah, everybody was under an ice storm or winter storm warning.
Yeah, so it wasn't like Georgia was going, oh, you know what, we're fine. I know we're getting hit, but you guys can have ours.
Right.
So, but still, it's going to take a few days. I mean, that's kind of what they said. It's going to take a few days to get everybody up and running.
Right. And, take advantage of the warming stations if you can.
Don't burn anything in your house.
Don't do that, man. Do not run your propane cooker. Don't run that in your house.
We don't need anybody pulling a Brad Delp.
No.
Well, and, we've got, the Children's Hospital over at Vanderbilt said they've treated at least 30 children who were suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. Good Lord. And fortunately, they caught them because that'll kill you fast.
Yeah, and here's the thing about carbon monoxide. You don't smell it. It's odorless.
No, you just pass out.
You just slowly go to sleep, and that's it. And game over. Like those people last week, even before this, one of them said they started to get really dizzy and feel like kind of sick, and they knew that something wasn't right.
Right.
And they made the phone call, but it was like 6 of them had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that apartment. It was an apartment complex.
Yeah. So, and this in particular, as you said, you got somebody who's in a mobile home, doesn't have a lot of money. There's not a lot of protection out there. Maybe stop by and say hi.
Right.
See if you can help them. Give them a call. Especially if they're on fixed incomes, because they're the ones who are saying, I'll save pennies, right? Because, natural gas and heating oil and all this stuff has gone up, and I'll just burn something in here that'll keep me warm. And lo and behold, what ends up happening is they end up dying.
Right. And, I found this phone number I want to share with everybody that Mayor Freddie O'Connell put out. It's a phone number that you can call if you need a ride to a warming station. And just get ready. Here comes the number. 615-401-1712. Call that number, and they will arrange for transportation for you to get to one of the many warming stations that are open in Nashville. I know that all of the fire stations and some of the police precincts are accepting, at least during the day, people can come in and warm up. Yeah. I don't know if you got a bed for overnight in these places, but they are places you can go. And with the fire stations, that's helpful because there's a fire station almost in every neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah. And they'd rather have you come down, sit inside and warm yourself than them having to come to you because you did something and you put yourself in a bad situation.
Right. So just call that number.
Yeah. Call that number. Now, as far as is it still cloudy outside?
Yes. I don't like it.
Oh, man, I just looked.
We need full-on sun. That morning sun was awesome, man. I mean, I was out early this morning. I was out around 6:45. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. That's when I woke up. 7 o'clock. I was outside clearing the ice off of our cars. And by about 7:40, 7:45, the sun had come up high enough. And I mean, it was I could already hear dripping. Things were melting just from the sun rays alone.
Yeah.
And, even when it's cold like this, if you can get direct sun, it's going to melt this stuff off. But that's stopped now.
And the direct sun's important because that's what's hitting the streets in certain areas. Yep. But if you live in an area where there's still some shade and there's no direct sun, even if the sun comes out, because it's not like it's if it's in the 70s, that stuff's going to melt regardless of where the sun hits it. That ain't happening. And we have another, not a system, but a cold snap coming through this weekend. And I'm looking at that right now, and I'm thinking to myself, Self, are you blanking kidding me?
Yeah, your HVAC's out, brother Chad.
So Saturday, Friday, 33, overnight low 11.
Good.
And then Saturday's highs 24 and the overnight lows 14. So this stuff is going to be around a bit. So watch out, too, when you're walking out there, people.
Friday night, it's going to be 4 degrees.
Oh, that's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Good grief, man.
My dog's never going to poop.
Yes, he will. Just do it in your living room when you're asleep.
Right there. You know what? I don't blame him. Right?
Nah, little fellas, man, they don't like it going out
they don't
there
like it.
that.
They don't like it. Big dogs seem to like it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're up above it.
Yeah. Well, they're better.
I find hilarious is watching videos of huskies who are like, it's just pouring down snow and they're out there and their owners are trying to call them in and they're like, no, I'm not coming in.
I love because they'll show other dogs that come in and they're covered and they look a hot mess. Husky comes in, shake once, all of it falls off. It's like, this is the best.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing ever. You're like, no way. I guess there really are dogs meant for the snow.
Yep.
What? Somebody had an ice quake last night?
Yeah, have you heard about that?
2976 and we had an ice quake.
Yeah.
How big was it?
I did a story about that. Where did I find it? Yeah, frost quakes.
Oh, look at that. I had frost quakes for breakfast. Those are like when you go to Walmart instead of having like Count Chocula. It's like Duke chocolate.
Yeah, they're called cryoseisms. Cryoseisms.
So Didn't they do that to Ted Williams' head and Disney? Oh, that was cryogenics. My bad.
It happens when rapidly dropping temperatures freeze water in the ground, and as the ice expands, it cracks surrounding soil and rock, creating an explosive sound.
Well, that's what you were talking about the other day about what happens when trees explode.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can hear. It's totally cool.
I'm almost positive that's what happened to my neighbor's tree that fell into our yard that knocked the power line down. Because if you look at the picture, it's just like it split in two and the weaker half fell into our yard.
Yeah.
Weakness. No weakness here. A lot of you chiming in. Your Chow, Fletch says Chow loves the loves the snow. Newfoundland refuses to come in when it snows.
Yeah.
Newfoundlands will never. They're from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Newfoundland, it's kind of it's a bizarre place, dude. I've been to Newfoundland.
Yeah?
One of my many travels. Take the worst Canadian accent, combine it with the worst Irish accent with people that maybe aren't the sharpest. You've got Newfie, eh?
Are they still polite, though?
Oh, sweet, but just you have no idea what they're saying. I'm like, I don't even think that's English at this point in time. But the ice quake is interesting.
Yeah.
That's
I want to hear an ice quake.
yeah.
Well, maybe I don't.
Well, why not?
Yeah, well, because my power lines are underground.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want ice quakes.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You don't tend to want to put stuff if there's earthquakes and ice quakes underground. That would be a weird situation. So did you guys have a lot of? I mean, in and around you, how much of the power lines in your area are underground?
All of them.
Okay, that's good.
Now, except for the intersections. You get to some intersections on, like either side of my neighborhood. Like you get to there's a highway. It's New Salem Highway. There's some power lines there. But in the neighborhood where I live, there are no power lines.
Okay.
Everything's underground.
That's so cool. That's a smart thing.
I'm telling you, man, like I said, I've been here, we're going on 11 years. The only power outage we ever had was by design. And it was 2022, the rolling blackouts, because TVA was worried that the grid was going to be overrun.
That's not good. Got to do better with the grid. By the way, somebody just sent in the frost quakes. Our good buddy over there at WSMV,
Yeah.
Dan there. Rapidly falling temperature cause underground water to freeze. The new ice expands, putting extra pressure on the surrounding soil and bedrock. Pressure builds until the soil and rock crack cocaine, and the cracking can result in loud booms or shaking.
Thank you, Brother Dan Thomas.
Shaking. Whoa.
I got that album.
It's a good album.
It is.
Good album. He was a little bit of a mess at times. I don't know
Yeah,
if you're aware of that.
he had a little thing with cocaine for a while.
Yeah. Wasn't he a cop, right?
Yeah.
He was a Detroit cop?
He was a cop, and he went from that to being a drug addict and a rock star.
I remember Ralph Garman, my buddy, he loved Eddie Money, and he was in an airport in Orange County, California, and he's at the desk talking, and he turns around, and he bumps into this guy, and he looks down, and this guy's got a big EM and gold and diamonds, and it was Eddie Money. And I'm like, oh.
He lived here like the last 25, 30 years of his life.
Was he shaking?
Yeah.
He did shake a little bit at the end.
He actually met his wife, KDF. When I worked at KDF, they used to do these shows called One for the Sun, and we would get artists, national artists to play. And he headlined one year, and there was also like a swimsuit pageant that we would do in between acts, and the winner of the pageant ended up being his wife.
Is that so if you win, you get to be his wife?
Yeah, that was the grand prize.
Remember whenever he was on King of Queens?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. As himself. Playing an acoustic set in their living room.
I love it was, remember Jennifer Grey? Was she on, what was she on?
Friends?
No. She was on like 2.5 Men or one of those things where she lived next door and she played herself, but she couldn't get a job anymore because she had her nose done.
That's actually true.
It's true.
She had so much trouble getting work after she had her nose done.
Because nobody believed that she was the Dirty
She looked
Dancing.
so different.
She didn't look anything like she is. It's one of those things too where you see people who get all the plastic surgery and they start to look at Mickey Rourke and stuff. They don't even look like them. They look like a person who's wearing a Mickey Rourke face mask. Like they cut Ricky Rourke's face off. She just had her nose done. And you're like, oh, who's that? She went from being a movie star to couldn't get work.
Yeah, and I remember watching an interview where she was like, I completely regret doing this.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Yeah. Last night I was watching Family Guy. I know, because I was just sitting, I'm like, and it was the one where now for a realistic Dirty Dancing. And there was the Dirty Dancing. And he's like, you can't put baby in the corner. And the guy's like, yes, I can. She's my daughter. What are you, 38? He goes, I'm 41. And then they arrest him. And then he goes to jail and it's all hungry eyes.
She was, 15 in the
She was
movie?
15. She was 15.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, her dad can.
That's
okay,
right.
settle down there, statutory guy. All right, coming up, it is Hot Take Tuesday. We got your hot takes, oh, baby, and there's in fuego, if you will. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday.
My hot take is TikTok sucks. TikTok went and, first of all, the Americans bought it, and they're playing around with a bunch of crap when it comes to what you can and can't say, and they've already starting to do that. But the algorithms, they changed it. Everybody's algorithms, for whatever reason, things have got, my For You page has turned to crap. Right? I'm not getting any of the cool, fun animal videos that I enjoy watching and the funny stuff that makes me smile. Instead, I'm getting some politics, but I can't say anything about politics because they'll get mad at me. And then, where are my funny cat videos? Right? Where's that?
Capybara videos.
Where's my capybara?
Gotta have those.
Capybara. I want that. Where's my guy that fights the goats as they whoop his ass as he tries to do it? When he tried to pole vault the goats, that did not work.
The sumo suit one was pretty
The
funny.
sumo suit one and the other one in a dinosaur suit because you can't see him and he's just dinosaur suit running around and they're just destroying him. And then he gets on because he takes suggestions. He puts on a full suit of armor and he can't move and they're just destroying him. And he's on the ground and they're beating him up. I told my wife, this is why guys don't live as long as we do.
Yeah, it's not one goat either. It's a bunch of
several, and they're big and they're pissed. So it's hilarious. Yeah, I want that back. You know what I don't want to see? The crap I'm seeing. And stop sending me the mini dramas because I get sucked into them and waste so much time. All right, Belle, what you got for us?
I'm almost burnt out from saying it. NES needs to learn how to prioritize better. I'll leave it at that.
Bell's had some issues. His car currently is not moving because of the live wire that's living on it. And Bell's too much of a wuss to try to go just move it.
Well, none of that stuff was, quote unquote, top of the list important to me, other than the fact that it's costing me an arm and a leg with Uber, until the guy came to the front door today and, pushed his way through the trees and everything over by the car. And if he had touched it, he would have been he'd been gone.
Yeah. And but you were a little mad at 911 too.
Oh, yeah. It should not take 10 minutes under any circumstances. It should take 10 minutes to get a hold of 911.
But on the night that everything happened, I could see why it would take a long time to get a hold of 911. On a Tuesday morning, it's a few days later, probably shouldn't take that long to get a hold of them.
It was Sunday afternoon, and that more than anything should have been prioritized to have more people working it. Because if somebody's had a heart attack or somebody's been in an accident where they need an ambulance, 10-minute wait could be life or death. And that's the city's responsibility to not have that kind of a wait.
Yeah. It is there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved. I think we recognize that. So thumbs down, NES for Bell there. And finally, over to Ken. Ken, what you got for us?
All right, drivers. If your car sheds ice chunks on the highway, you're not a driver. You're a missile launcher. Clean your roof and your hood, or accept that you're the reason someone behind you now needs a new windshield and possibly a change of underwear. Because trust me, when you're tooling 70 miles an hour down I-24 toward Nashville, and all of a sudden you see the entire top of a box truck in front of you, a wall of ice come off of it, your underwear is in danger of being soiled.
Oh.
And that's the least of what can happen to you.
So you have to ask yourself the question, would you rather have your windshield destroyed or would you rather soil yourself? Oh.
Well, I've got insurance, so I'd have to say the windshield.
Do you have pants insurance?
Don't have pants insurance.
Everybody needs pants insurance.
But seriously, folks, you got to clean off that hood.
Yeah.
And your roof, man.
I'm always like, I'm always curious when you pull up and somebody's got ice, like chunks of it, big. Oh, you didn't think? Like if that was any other thing, if some just crapped all over your car with big chunks, like you'd move it off. But not the ice, huh?
Not the ice.
Well, that is interesting. Apparently you hate America. You're not a patriot. Trump's like, you're not a patriot.
You're not a patriot if you've got ice on your hood.
You want the terrorists to win. It's my favorite when he does that. All right, coming up, a big lawsuit going on in L.A. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things. Straight ahead, Chad Benson, Serberto, 99.7. All right, guys, I know what's going on. A Quaker, modern, activist, inward-focused faith. Mennonites, traditional faith with flexible lifestyles. The older ones...
Flexible.
Yeah, flexible. Little swingers. The older ones, kind of like the Amish. The younger ones, they can have cars and they have stuff. Mm-hmm. The Amish, obviously, we know about. Here's an interesting thing. Mr. Nixon, the president, former president,
Quaker?
he was a Quaker.
He was a Quaker.
Well, I'll be.
I knew he was a Quaker.
Yeah, he was a Quaker. That's not a good thing, by the way, if you're like...
Peaceful people.
Yeah, except for the part where war and stuff with him.
Yeah, I suppose. They were, I think I've read somewhere where there was a slight concern that as president of the United States, he would be weak on those types of things.
But he's like, nope, I got Henry Kissinger and a bunch of other people. We'll do all kinds of stuff.
Well, he didn't get us in all of that. John F. Kennedy did.
Yeah, I know that. But you know what I mean. Let's be real. Kissinger did a lot of things. He turned it. He did a lot of things, a lot of wheeling and dealing, the old Kissinger, with some of the stuff.
Well, but yeah, let's not absolve Kennedy just because he got his head blown off of getting us into the Vietnam War.
Come on, they all get us into something. Who doesn't get us into something?
Oh, who doesn't get us into something?
Who was the last one to not get us into something?
Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge, he believed that the business of America was business.
Yeah.
Took a very laissez-faire attitude. I liked old Calvin Coolidge is my favorite president.
Is he?
Absolutely, 100%. He believed that the federal government served best that served absolutely least. The federal government was there only when absolutely necessary.
I'm more of a Taft guy because that was funny.
Well, Taft was a big old fella.
He was a big old fella.
Taft reportedly created the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah.
Because he was so fat he couldn't sit in that little bitty seat for so long he had to get up and stretch.
Is that true?
That's what they say. Is that he was at a baseball game and when the president got up, everybody got up. Because that's what you did, and the seats were very narrow, and he had to get up and
And again,
jiggle his fat around.
Baseball is a lot of folklore that's all lies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's
like
probably
everybody's
not true.
like, who invented baseball?
Abner Doubleday.
Never invented baseball.
Nope.
Biggest lie told by some other weird dude who was a mental patient who killed his wife, and everybody's like, okay, sounds good. Never. He was the first person was it the Appomattox when he fired a shot, wasn't he?
I think what Crispus Attucks?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about? That's
he fired. I think he fired one of the first shots of the Civil War.
Abner
Doubleday.
That was not. Maybe it was Abner Doubleday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not the crazy guy.
I thought you Crispus Attucks. I think he was the one that started the American Revolution.
So, well, there you go.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know how old he was.
We're taking a cultural tour around war in America.
That's okay. And the Quakers.
So you said the Mennonites are
they're modern. So the older Mennonites are very much like the Amish, but the newer Mennonites they live in regular houses, electricity, cars, phones, all of that stuff.
Would you call them flexible?
They're flexible.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the pineapples in the grocery store.
Pineapples in the grocery store. Yeah,
upside down pineapples.
Bye, Mennonite. They live in the villages,
but they don't show their ankles.
They don't. Yeah, you can have some. Just Abe or whatever their names are. They have what? It's always like Jebediah, Abe,
Zachariah.
Somebody's listening right now. And they're like, "Don't tell the Amish." Go ahead.
That's what I used. I used to say that the two people that I can insult with impunity on the radio are the Amish and the deaf.
Oh,
right.
Somebody would go tell a deaf person.
But then that's on them. That's on them. That's not on me.
Matt is a.
That's not on me. All right?
Yeah.
It's on.
And then you're going to be like, it was lost in translation.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said at all.
Yeah, you
not
said.
That you can hear me. No, I said different things.
Isn't it hilarious? Every year there's always one person that's caught that has the balls enough to stand up on one of the stages and do fake sign language as if nobody's going to notice it?
It's funny. I played a deaf guy in a college production. It was a one-act play, and I never learned sign language. I just made it up, and I just did. I did the same, and nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
I'm sure if a deaf person showed up, he's saying nothing. He's saying gobbledygook. This play doesn't make any sense.
Maybe this play doesn't make any sense. It's a poorly written play.
Yeah, look, I'm just signing what the guy wrote.
What are you talking about today?
We'll do a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of folks without power, and we'll continue to cover that. Governor Bill Lee's coming on the show today. So,
the spaceman.
That'll be good.
Oh, that was a baseball player.
Yeah, the governor's coming on, and we'll have a couple of other folks. National Weather Service, National Electric Service. Get it right, Murphy. Will tell us how much power's out.
Can you figure out how they can get the electric power line off Bell's car? Because he's very upset.
No, I'm still working on my cable. Once I get done with my cable, I'm on Bell's car.
Okay, cool.
So,
there we go. Bell, it's never happening.
Yeah.
Just drive it away. Good luck to you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one tomorrow.